will just have a party. And let's enjoy this wonderful, beautiful day in this beautiful province, Alberta.
Push me, and then you touch me, till I can get my satisfaction.
Push me, and then you touch me, till I can get my...
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jasper. I'm standing in front of the Whistle Stop Cafe in Mirror, Alberta, and I've got next to me a special person to me, Dr. Dennis. He's one of the founders of APP, the Alberta Prosperity Product. Dr. Dennis, give me a big hand.
Hey Jasper, great to see you. Wonderful to see you back here in Canada, and Alberta, not to forget Canada, and Alberta.
Well, we're here in Alberta and we're on the 1st of July and we're celebrating Albertans Day.
Yes.
Why is that necessary?
Well, I think it's necessary to recognize that Alberta is really very different from other regions in the country. And every region has its own culture. And what we're trying to do is, here in Alberta, is educate the public to recognize the uniqueness of Alberta, the uniqueness of its geography, of its natural resources, of its culture. And what we want to do is preserve that. We don't want to be homogenized, by the federal government and the World Economic Forum and the globalists to make us all one subclass to serve the interests of the elite. And so we're standing up to that, and I think we're doing a very good job of getting there. And so we press on, and this is just another event on the road to Alberta sovereignty.
Sir, welcome. Thank you for being here.
I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you. And all these freedom fighters fighting for the more autonomy for their province, and some of them are separatists. I'm telling them, it's time to be serious, because what Ottawa is doing with the Liberals or the Conservative, it's all the same. That's the Uni Party. And as you know, I'm the leader of the People's Party of Canada, and I'm ready to fight for you Albertans and all Canadians.
Perfect. So what are your opinions and what are your talking points? What are your thoughts about politics, and what do you want to change about it?
Yeah, actually, we will have a by-election here in Alberta. As you know, Poliev wasn't able to be elected in Ottawa, but he's coming from Ottawa, and there's a by-election in August 2018, and we have a candidate over there, the People's Party candidate, Jonathan. And what we want to tell people, it's time to send a strong message to Ottawa. Vote for the People's Party, for Jonathan, because the People's Party is there for you. I know that Albertans are fed up with the Paris Accord. We're the only party that will withdraw from the Paris Accord. I know that Albertans are fed up with mass immigration. We're the only party that will stop mass immigration, and will do better. We will start mass deportation. We will start the mass deportation.
In Holland, where I'm coming from, our government, we had like 15 years ago, we had a referendum about Ukraine joining the European Union, and the citizens voted no.
Yeah.
So what our government did is not listening to it, just scraping the referendum. And I think in Alberta there's a fighting chance for a referendum, and the APP is organizing. Can you tell me a bit more about the referendum part?
Sure. So what we've been doing with the Alberta Prosperity Project is educating the public for the last few years on the rationale and merits of Alberta sovereignty. And the provincial government here in Alberta has what is called the Citizens Initiative Act, which defines a legal pathway to force a referendum on Alberta sovereignty. And so what we need to do is, for example, get 177,000 people. The population of Alberta is 5 million. To get about 177,000 people to sign a petition in favor of Alberta becoming a sovereign country. That petition, when successful, then goes to the provincial government, and the provincial government is then obligated to hold a referendum on sovereignty. Now, as I say, we've been working on this for a while, and we already have over 250,000 people registered to support the petition. And there are many other people that support the concept of Alberta sovereignty as well, but we still live in an era of cancel culture, and there are some people that really feel threatened by registering their contact information that could jeopardize their financial accounts or something with respect to the Canada Revenue Agency. Those concerns would be unfounded because we don't share our contact information with anybody. So we have that contact information in a program called Nation Builder, and it is secure and it can't be hacked. And so, just from that point of view, I think there's probably many more people in support of Alberta sovereignty than what we think, even at this time, based on polling.
Well, the best thing about a democracy is asking your own citizens what they think about new rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And by asking via referendum, that's the best way and the most honest way to have a political discussion about questions.
Yes.
And I think you have a fighting chance now to have. What's the question that the referendum is holding? Because it's just one.
Well, the question that we're intending on submitting on Friday, that's when what is called Bill 54, the change in the Citizens Initiative Act, takes effect. It's proclaimed into law on Friday. And so the question that we will be submitting to Elections Alberta is, do you agree that the province of Alberta shall become a sovereign country and cease to be a province of Canada? That's the question. So it seems like a two-part question, but the verbiage comes directly from what's called the Clarity Act, which is the legal pathway for a province to leave Canada. But we're confident that it will be approved. As I say, it fits exactly with what the Clarity Act defines as a legitimate question. So,
well, when you look up the internet, there are a lot of people in Alberta saying we want to have a referendum, and there are a lot of people saying why you want to separate. I think that's really a negative word. But if you're asking me if you're against a sovereign Alberta, just vote no. And then you participate in the real democracy, and then I think it has a lot of value in it. What's your opinion on that?
Well, that's the point. The question that has to be posed, again, according to the Clarity Act, has to have a yes or no answer. So what we're hoping for is that when the referendum is called, that the question will be the question I posed. Do you agree that the province of Alberta shall become a sovereign nation and cease to be a province of Canada? So it seems like a two-part question, but it really accentuates the positive in the first part, Alberta becoming a sovereign nation. Sovereign really means, as you know, Jasper, nothing is above it.
Exactly.
So, except God. So nothing is above Alberta as a sovereign country that can control Alberta. Now, being involved in the international community, of course, there's trade relations and military alignments and that sort of thing, and there's give and take on these sorts of issues. But still, it's up to, what we want is for Alberta to be in a position that they make their own decisions in their best interest.
Exactly. Well, and of course there are a lot of questions, and I understand that there are, but I think you need to take that step by step. First have a referendum. I think what I understand, the APP has a think tank for what's happening, for all those extra questions coming, what we're going to do with the military, maybe the currency, all those kinds of questions.
The people in Alberta, they're fed up of giving, billions of dollars to poor province in Eastern Canada with the equalization formula. We will change the equalization formula. We will cut the spending that you're giving by half. Instead of $26 billion that the federal government is giving to other provinces, it would be only 13. But Poilievre won't speak about that. So we need to do all these bold reform because we are losing our country. If we need to save the country, we need to do that.
So you're strong on immigration, you're strong on climate, I understand.
We're strong on immigration, we're strong against the climate, we are strong for more autonomy. In Alberta, like in Quebec, you want to develop your own natural resources without an interference from the federal government. We are 100% there. We want to do a radical decentralization. Instead of having the federal government, a big fat government that is telling you what to do, we want a real radical decentralization, more autonomy to provinces. But Poilievre and Carney won't speak about that. Poilievre will be a day, if he's prime minister, he will be like Harper. He will be a good manager of a big fat government, and he won't do any reform for you. Harper was from Alberta, and what is the legacy of Stephen Harper? Zero. Yet, no legacy. Oh, sorry, yes, he dismantled the wheat board. That's the only legacy that he has. So Poilievre will be the same. It's time for a revolution at the federal level, and it's time to vote in line with your values and what you want, and the People's Party is there for you.
So that's what we're calling, that's why I'm wearing a t-shirt, we need a revolution, but a certain one. Within politics, we're back with the people in the country, because the people are in power, and you're supposed to be having a voice by the people in politics, I guess.
Yeah, that's our party, the People's Party of Canada, because we believe in people, we don't believe in government. We think that people know better what is good for themselves, and not Ottawa, and not a politician in Ottawa that will tell you what to do. So we are a grassroots political party, and a young party. We are not an establishment political parties, and we are fighting against these career politicians.
Well, last question, because I know you're in a hurry and you're a busy man. What do you want to say to my audience, and what do you want to say to the Canadian people?
Yeah, I want to tell them, fight for what you believe, and if you want to have more freedom, with freedom you must have responsibilities also. We are there, the People's Party. We want to have your support, but before supporting the People's Party, go on our website and read our platform, peoplespartyofcanada.ca. And if you like our platform, we want to fight for individual freedom, personal responsibility, respect and fairness. And if you like that, I hope you'll support our candidate in the by-election. You will have a by-election here in Alberta, August 18. Our candidate Jonathan is there from the People's Party to send a strong message to Ottawa and telling these establishment politicians, including Pierre Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre was elected the first time at 24 years old, and now more than 20 years he's in Parliament. He is a career professional politician. We don't want that. He's not fighting for you. So vote in line with your values, and changes and revolution, peaceful revolution will happen.
Well, thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Is there one thing that you need to say to the audience?
Freedom is something that people want everywhere in the world. Freedom and prosperity. And what we do here in Alberta, we hope, is supported by the international freedom community. And by exchange, we will definitely support the international community that's seeking sovereignty for themselves and freedom for themselves as well. So thanks, Jasper, for the interview.
You're more than welcome, Dennis. Enjoy your day.
You too. Take care.
Thank you.